We used to go to Sri Lanka all the time. Play in Sri Lanka outside also. Here you have 10 people singing this. So in Colombo, in Ganguly, in Dambulla, in Sayantan, in India, the entire stadium used to sing this. Muralitharan, Muralitharan. Because cricket used to only fall when Murli used to come.
নিজের আত্মজীবনী 800-এর প্রচারে কলকাতায় মুথাইয়া মুরলীধরন। সঙ্গে ছিলেন কলকাতার মহারাজ সৌরভ গঙ্গোপাধ্যায়, ছবির পরিচালক MS শ্রীপতি ও মুরলীর চরিত্রে অভিনয় করা মধুর মিত্তাল। ফিল্ড গসিপের কয়েকটি প্রশ্নের উত্তরে এবং অন্যান্য সাংবাদিকদের প্রশ্নের উত্তরে মুরলী কী বললেন শুনে নিন।
Regarding T20, because those days Test cricket is most important. Now because T20, because the life of people also changed a lot. It's very fast. So like that, they can see only 2 hours. So that's why the T20 is very popular. So the cricketers also got into that, adapted to that. Although he had a bad patch few years back, now he got back to very well in cricket and he's taking wickets. So that's why he's included in the World Cup. So he's a mention. Teams are playing, so you can't say which team is going to be which team. You also ask which team you want to be the game changer. That's why it is. And it's a very good year for it. And also, same year we will debut and everything. And also, Anil also, you should not forget because he has got 660 wickets. He's one of the greatest bowlers. So India has produced. So I think he's also a good friend and also he has done great for Indian cricket.
Happy is an understatement for me to be here. Anything connected to Muralitharan, we used to call him Murli, is from the heart. Because not only he was the greatest spinner of all time, he's one of the greatest human beings you'll ever meet. You know, soft, gentle, kind, and always smiling. You know, I've grown up in an era with a very strong Indian team and had some great players. But for us, Sri Lanka was Murli. And I'm saying that with due respect to everyone, Sri Lanka has produced some great players. Aravinda De Silva, Kumara Sangakkara, Mahela Jayawardene, Arjuna Ranatunga was a very good player who was the World Cup winning captain. So they've had some outstanding players. But Murli was different. You know, as I said, you know, you land in Colombo, you land in Sri Lanka, you go to anywhere, everybody from the I remember my first trip in 1997, yes, my first trip in 1997 to Sri Lanka, and we used to go to Sri Lanka very often. Every summer we used to be there. The Taj Samudra Hotel in Colombo was just like our home for us. June, July we were there and I loved Sri Lanka. You know, I remember my first trip, I landed and I was going through the immigration at the Colombo airport and there were very kind people. India was coming. And they said, all the best for the tournament, all the best for the series, you know, have a good trip. But remember, we have Murli. and I remember the exact word. He's an unbelievable ambassador of the sport. He's a genuine ambassador of the sport. And when you see Muralitharan, because I have followed his entire career, and I must say something, I have played the young Muralitharan, I have played the middle-aged Muralitharan, and I have played the old Muralitharan. And the hardest was the old Muralitharan. You know, and I mean everything what I say, because I'm not saying because of his media, it's because of his biopic, but it was the hardest as he got older. He could spin the off spin this much, he could spin the off spin that much, he could bowl the straighter one, he could bowl the one which would go the other side. And the best thing Rahul Dravid told me, we used to bat together a lot those days. He said, how do I cover drive it? I said, don't worry, you don't worry about the cover drive, leave the cover drive to me, you just rotate the strike. So, you know, he's been absolutely fascinating. 800 test wickets, and he's not added the one day also. How much in one day? Only 400? Can you imagine 540 one day wickets? 540 one day wickets, 800 test wickets. So it's 1340 international wickets for Sri Lanka. So I'm not wrong in saying that Murli meant Sri Lanka. Or it's the other way, Sri Lanka meant Murli. Wasn't too much fun playing him because he hardly gave anything to hit. But knowing Muralitharan, the person, is amazing. And as I said, you ask everybody around the world, you know, you won't get a better gentleman than Muralitharan. You know, I congratulate you on your new role. You are portraying a master on screen. You do a lot of businesses. I know you do a lot of things at the back, you have a lot of money, but don't get away from the game, because the game needs Muralitharan is humbleness, is genuinity, and most importantly, the game needs a master.
The World Cup 99, it was something like, special batting from both of you, and both got hundreds and won easily. So that's because he's a strong player of spin bowling, and he's right, because when he was young, when I was young, he didn't give a chance to me. When I was little older, a little bit, I had a chance for him. So that's the way they live. And I think mostly, if you think about him, is because he's a specialist. Because when he came into the team 96, I can remember 96 in Lords, I think he got a 100 in that. So something a young cricketer at the time when coming and getting 100, because getting into that Indian team was so hard. Also saying humble and everything, anything approachable. That's why whenever he says me, Murali, if you need, I just there for him, because those era, because the cricketers like him, Anil, those 5-6 players, we had very anything in life, because we continue after cricket also our friendship. He used to be a very good opener, and spin wise he's a champion. He leads the whole any spinners out of the park. So now you maybe remember only 2 sixes. He got not even 2 sixes. He got many sixes against me, not even against me. The top bowlers like Shane Warne and Glenn Mustak and so many bowlers.
800 test wickets, you will have to play a lot of test matches. And I don't know whether anybody at this stage will play so many amount of test matches with all that cricket that is going around. Test matches, one-day cricket, T20 cricket, leagues all around the world. And don't forget his 540 one-day wickets also. So it's total 1340 international wickets, and it will be very difficult to beat. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible in this world, but it will take a lot of hard work to get past what Murali has achieved.
Because 2003 is in South Africa, it's totally different than what you play in Indian players play in India. It's your home turf, because you have a more advantage. When you're playing in outside, the advantage is less, because you have to adapt to those conditions. So you can't compare those two, because you want it. That's what you might be thinking better. No, because that side also very good side in 2003. And I think I can remember I did play twice. They beat us twice in that. So very convincing, not easy. It's very convincing they beat us. And only thing is, see, Australia was that era. It was so powerful till that 2 decades. So no team like Australia we haven't seen. I started playing both are playing in 90s started. So that era that Australia came up, and they were unbeatable in 2000s. So to winning, losing that match was, it is like 2 people got, I can remember, hundreds, and they got 350 in the final. So in India's case, in 2011, it is all about that India has the advantage. Day in, day out they play, they know their conditions, and so the luck was there, so they had the chance at the time. So I think you can't compare both. Both are very good teams and very good captains who led the team both times. England is playing well at the moment, and Australia is, you can't count them out any time. But there are other teams and dark horses are there. So it's if you ask anyone, even Dada, if you ask, luck is very much needed to win a World Cup. Luck makes a big part of it, because right time, right things happen. So that always showed you in the last World Cup final. We thought New Zealand will win, but luck goes to England wins. So say the World Cup, so we were in '96, we were underdogs. No thought. So luck came to us so many times. So that's why always in India, because they are the greatest players who play spin. So I struggled a lot, because in India, we haven't won a match yet, this match. So I was playing, so it was tough with India.
And which bowler you think can come closer to your record of 800 wickets?
See, GB enters in camp because if he plays for 3-4 years, because they're 100 odd years, so he can break the record. That's up to him how many years he's going to play.